This is my sixth or something take of this, but it's it's a hard video. Um, and honestly, it's been a long time coming. But Destiny 2 is officially being brought off of live service updates, and it's purely because of it, honestly, it's because of the fact that that honestly D2 just has started not to put out the numbers that really it needed to in order to be kept alive. And honestly, I've said this like way too many times today. Um, but all I can really kind of hope for is that Shadow and Order is good. And if they aren't planning on making a D3, at least like, hopefully they end the game on a good note. Like they end the game like in a way that isn't like, oh, hey, what happens next? We'll never know because the game's live service guy ended. I would like it not to end up like that. Um, Now my friends, uh, they've heard me talk about this way too many times at this point, and I get it. I do. But when a game has been part of your life for years, and you've been playing it as your primary game for years, um, it kind of hits hard when you're like, oh hey, we're gonna make a comeback. We always do, and that no longer applies. It's just disheartening because I kind of know like, oh hey, kind of dumb here because I have a Pokemon here that I can just fly across on. But like I've kind of said, like I'm hoping that if like with the Shadow and Order update, if Bungie is planning on making a D3, Destiny 2 with a good note. Like regardless of whether or not you're making D3, because if you're planning on making D3, you're still going to want to end D2 on a good note because you're going to want those D2 fans to come to D3. Do I really think that D3 is going to happen? There's part of me that's saying yes, and there's another part of me that's saying no. It would be really nice, but unfortunately it's not. Um, and it's part of that. It's part of having that copium of, oh hey, the game's been out for so long, and they've said like, and they've shown like, oh hey, even though one story has ended, another one is still like being in place. And unfortunately, that second story. I mean, I personally love it. I personally love the prophecy, uh, the prophecy portion of the game. I personally do. I like the Portal. Um, and there was a number of things that I may have liked, but I know that not everyone likes it. It likes it too, and again, it's sad because this game has been part of my life since when was it like the end of Beyond Light? Almost 2021 or something. Like I started playing like late into Beyond Light, and I never really got into it until Witch Queen, when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this game out again. And then I tried it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. Why did I stop? And, well, kind of history there. Do I hope that Bungie makes a D3? There's part of me that does. There's part of me that does. But it's probably not gonna happen. The it Me thinking it will happen is just a bunch of cope, and yeah, and honestly, I think the reason I'm making this video is kind of to be like, hey, kind of say my final goodbyes to the game that's really kind of been part of me since since really 2020, since COVID, and I'm sure it's been part of a lot of people's lives since COVID. Um, I I do truly hope that that whatever Bungie is planning, I hope that it is awesome. That's all I can really kind of hope for, is that whatever Bungie does, I hope that it's great, because they've kind of locked me in as a fan. Um, at least until like they do something. I don't even have to say it because I know so many of you already know. I mean, there's just so many developers out there that are like that seem really cool, but that end up being really shitty. Now, do I think that that's going to happen? Bungie ending up being like a lot worse than we thought. Um, no, not really. Um, and that's just purely because of the fact that, oh hey, like they've never really given us reason to believe it. Um, Now, I know from unfortunately experience that that's usually the case. Like the developers seem to be like really cool, but then they end up being like really shitty people. It just it and it's sad. That I've had that kind of experience, but I mean it happens. It does. Um, I just hope, like I've probably said like 3 times already in this segment, or in this video alone. Um, I just hope that Shadow and Order and it ends the game on a good note. Like I do know that there's plenty of content that they're dropping. They're adding sparrow racing, they're adding all sorts of stuff, um, that people have been kind of begging for since the launch of D2 really, um, and that they've kind of been praying for. They're finally dropping it, at least. Um, but I kind of hope that even though Destiny 2 is over, that it ends on a good note of closure. Like we aren't left wondering like, hey, what if we, what if the game was kept alive? What would have happened with the story? And who knows? It very well might, or it may not. And I'm just hoping that again. I'm hoping that whatever future that Bungie has in mind for themselves, and for its player base, for both Marathon and Destiny 2 as a whole, I just hope that that future ends up being good. Um, do I think that it will include a Destiny 3? Honestly, no. It was a good run. Honestly, it was. But with kind of everything and me kind of just I've been playing Minecraft all day, and honestly I probably should get off, play some Warframe. um I just figured I would, I don't know. Cuz I hate doom posting. I hate doom posting in general. I hate the people that do it. But I don't know. I can't really call it or people can't really call it doom posting anymore because I mean it is actually over this time. Now, again, I'm hopeful still, and there's still part of me that's like they are secretly making a D3, but they aren't telling us because they don't want, like, oh hey, they don't want us to know, like, right off the bat. Plus, I'm sure they want to make Destiny 3 really good. Now, honestly, if they were to make a D3, I feel like what everyone would kind of want, I or oh, I don't, yeah, well, I can't really say what everyone would want actually. So I'm not even gonna say what everyone would want. I feel like what would be a really good call, have a prequel of Destiny 1 and 2. Have it be back during the the like the whole phase of humanity, like being hunted down. The I I forget what I forget what they called it, but I'll put like, oh hey, what they call it in the video, or like during the video, like right around here. what they call it, but um, I feel like that would be a really good direction to go. Kind of give us a prequel, give us give us insight to like how Zavala became Zavala in the first place, and as well as Ikora or even Gate 6. And I feel like that could be a good recipe for a good game. Do I think they'll do that? Probably not. In all honesty, probably not. Because, it, even though, like, oh hey, they would have a great recipe for, honestly, success with that, I feel like that would be I feel like that actually would be too much to ask for. Because Bungie has already kind of announced that they're working on multiple different games. And they can't keep the players content, I guess. So they're and they can't make revenue sales as expected, which is honestly it was kind of expected because I mean, hey, the game's kind of been struggling since really Lightfall, even with Final Shape. The game had no real direction. Um, and the company it had a CEO that honestly, if you're part of the Destiny 2 community, you already know, but he was not the best. And honestly, he probably screwed D2 over. Now, that being said, do I think the new CEO is doing a good job? Marathon, honestly, I've only heard like I've heard some pretty good things about it. I've also heard some bad things about it. I have yet to play it myself, so I won't be able to kind of agree with either side. All that I do know is that like, hey, most of that negativity is people that are that kind of like barrel on into Bungie for like all the negative things, and they don't stop and think like, oh hey, what are the good things? What are the things that they really did good about this game? And it's unfortunate, um, because again, like if people kind of just stopped and thought about like, oh hey, what are the good things about the game? I feel like they could really kind of see the really good side of what Bungie's trying to do. Now, will that be a near impossible thing? Probably. It's people. Um, and if I've learned anything about people is can't satisfy them a lot. Um, or at least a good majority of them. You can't. Um, but I really do hope that whatever Bungie's plan is, that it's great, because they honestly have got me as a fan for life, and if D2 were to ever like end service completely, whether that be due to Bungie being unable to support the servers anymore, or that be to like due to, well, hey, they like they go out of business. If if I'm able to, I want, like, if I were to have kids, I would want them to kind of experience what Bungie magic is. Like, in terms of, like, oh, hey, there's story. Because I personally love the stories that they've made. I loved Renegades. I loved, honestly, Edge of Fate. And this is going to be a very hot take, I know. Um, but in all honesty, Edge of Fate is overhated. It's severely overhated, and it it's a little frustrating because I'm sitting here like, dude, Bungie is actually cooking, and you're complaining about the portal, which honestly it was executed poorly, but in all honesty, I loved the portal. Portal was awesome. And who knows, maybe years from now, if, if people see, it will look back on things like the portal and all that, and they'll be like, man, we really kind of missed out on. We really kind of didn't realize how good we had it. And I hope, honestly, that day, I hope that day is kind of remembered. Like, like, oh, hey. Like, people kind of are like, why did we rip on Bungie? Do I think that'll happen? Probably not. Because, Destiny 2 has a love-hate relationship with a majority of people. And it's forever going to be kind of in a close place to my heart because, A, that's where I met a majority of my friends. And or where I've gotten to really kind of know my friends. Um, like hell, fucking Deimos, the fucking bastard. Fucking love him. He and I met while I was playing comp on like, before fucking Kepri's horn got changed to be solar only, or solar super only. And he had this triple soul setup, so I was practically fighting a 6v1 because my teammates basically did nothing that entire match. Now, will I agree that, oh hey, I was kind of dumb for barreling in every single time? Honestly, yeah. Like, I could have played the match a lot better. But that's kind of how he and I met. We met through Destiny 2. Aiden, Aiden, Dex, Liam, I met while playing Destiny 2. Now, granted, those friends were introduced to me from a friend that I had made non-D2. they still were they still were my friends during that era, and like that's why D2 is always gonna hold a special place in my heart, because while there were several downs and ups, the game was fantastic, and it's kind of made me come out. It really kind of has made me come out of my shell when it came to interacting with people. And as an autistic person, and those of you who are neurodivergent, um, in general, as you know, not like it's really hard to talk to people, because like, what if they make fun of you? What if this? What if that? And it honestly, I I'm I'm grateful, because while again Destiny has had its ups and downs, mostly downs, the game is going to forever hold that special place in my heart. Anyway, um, so next video, I actually reattempted the Ryoshu, or the Blade of House Spider's Ryoshu, and yeah, it's not nearly as good as Jackson, um, and I doubt he has watched, or she. I doubt they've watched any of my videos, but if you somehow do at some point, hey, keep up the good work. You're doing fantastic, and honestly, I strive to be as good as you. And who knows? One day, maybe I might. And yeah. But anyway, um, I know this is a weird video, because again, like, I not once have doom posted until today, but I don't really consider it a doom post, because it is officially over. Um, so yeah. Um, whether it be day, night, or even the middle of the day, I hope you all have a fantastic the rest of it, and I will you'll see my next video come the end of the week. So hope you all enjoyed.